like to continue my trip down memory lane with video games as well. And the video game we are going to cover today is from 1991, WWF WrestleFest. Now, this was an arcade-only video game. It consisted of 10 superstars. You could play as...
Hulk Hogan, no surprise.
Yes.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
The Big Boss Man, including that belly being exposed.
Yes. You could also play as the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Jake the Snake Roberts. Did we already say that?
Nope.
Earthquake, Mr. Perfect, Sergeant Slaughter, Demolition Smash, Demolition Crush, and of course, the Legion of Doom, Hulk, and Animal. So, 10 playable characters. You had 2 modes. You could either play in the new Royal Rumble mode or the Saturday Night's Main Event mode. Royal Rumble mode, you would pick one player and you would go through a Royal Rumble match, which basically essentially is a battle royal, though, in the video game. Everybody's there. And then the Saturday Night's Main Event, you would choose a tag team partner, and you would go through, I believe, 4 matches until you play the Legion of Doom as the champion, and you can go for the tag team titles.
Yeah, we watched this game, and I'm telling you what, there was a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, for 1991, it's a pretty good game. You gotta realize, back in these days, the arcade games were better looking, and by all means,
like if you played the arcade
home console game.
Yeah, if you played like the arcade version of the Turtles, it was a lot different than the one that was on Nintendo, because
the game itself was typically the same, but the graphics were a lot better.
Yeah,
you went to the arcade.
They had more power for these arcade games.
And I'd say that was probably true for video games up until maybe the PlayStation 2 era. Roughly in that ballpark era, maybe Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube. I think that's kind of when the the consoles kind of caught up with the arcades. But before that, it really was a bigger deal to play a game on an arcade system than it was a home console, because they just simply looked better. And this was definitely very similar. If you played in the arcade in the early 90s, the graphics were way more better than you can get in the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then the Super Nintendo started looking better, but then the arcade games started looking better. So it just kind of was one of those, the arcade was always kind of one up on the home consoles.
We had some slightly better sound, we had some voices, and we had a little interview with Legion of Doom that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it didn't really sound like Hawk or Animal, but it was just, yeah! You couldn't really understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
But there was a ring announcer. The ring announcer actually calls out the wrestlers' names, and
was in the middle of the ring too.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the ring and actually calling out. But keep in mind, back in 1991, that was like a big, oh my gosh, this game's talking. So that was pretty cool.
And then there had Hulk Hogan, when we watched Hulk Hogan wrestle in the ring, and he just pretty much did poses the whole time.
Yeah, so please, definitely, if you ever check out this game, give yourself a couple extra hours, because there is a lot of posing going on. So anybody that knows Hulk Hogan knows you have to have that extra time given, because that is just what he does.
I did a weak left-handed punch. Time to throw those guns out.
Right. So definitely it's worth a play. Even today, it looks really fun to play. I believe we did play this back in the day.
I'm pretty sure I found this at an arcade once or twice and was like, Mommy, give me some quarters.
Yeah, so we've definitely played this back in the day. We YouTubed it just to kind of refresh our memory and to try to remember what playing this game was like. And it definitely looked like one of the funner wrestling games of the time. blew anything on the NES out of the water.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a trip to memory lane, because I do actually remember this game.
Yeah. So definitely video game fans out there that are also wrestling fans, if you get a minute, check this one out. Definitely worth your time.
I think we need to talk about something.